When we first decided to travel together, I thought it would just be about places, pictures, and new food. But what we found was something deeper. We laughed at things that didn't even make sense, got lost and blamed the GPS, danced in quiet streets like we were the only ones alive, and took the silliest photos that became the background of my phone. We shared ice cream and fought over the last bite, sang terribly loud to road trip songs, and made memories out of every minute. We wrote our names in the sand and promised the waves couldn't wash us away. I thought nothing could go wrong. But love, like travel, doesn't follow a map. One day, she got sick. Not just a cold. The kind that makes you forget what a smile feels like. And suddenly, my sunshine was under blankets, pale and quiet. I tried to be strong, bringing her soup that she barely touched, holding her hand when words felt too small, canceling plans without a second thought because nothing else mattered. I became her personal nurse, terrible at it but trying anyway, making her laugh once in a while, because even a weak smile meant the world. I prayed in silence, asking the universe to let her heal, to give me her pain if it meant she'd sleep peacefully. And in those quiet days, I realized something louder than laughter. This was love, the real kind. Not just sunsets and matching outfits, but staying when things get ugly, loving her when she can't even lift her head, and waiting patiently for the moment she whispers, "I feel a little better." And when that moment came, when she sat up, smiled, and said, "Thank you," it felt better than all our adventures. We didn't just travel to cities or beaches, we traveled through pain, through silence, through strength. She fought, and I watched her become even more beautiful in her weakness. We looked back at our silly photos, and she said, "We'll make more soon," and I knew we would. Because love is not the journey or the destination. She got stronger each day, and with every little improvement, my heart felt lighter. I started hearing her laughter again, soft at first, like a song returning after a long silence. We didn't rush anything. We just enjoyed the small moments, sipping tea by the window, watching birds fly past, holding hands without saying a word. And then, one morning, she looked at me and said, "Let's go somewhere." It wasn't just a trip. It was a celebration of health, of hope, of us. We packed light, not because we needed little, but because we'd learned what truly mattered couldn't be packed like presents, patience, and love. On the road again, she wore sunglasses bigger than her face and made up silly names for every tree we passed. I laughed more than I had in weeks. We played our old playlist, the one we made when everything was perfect, but now it sounded even better because we'd survived the storm. She leaned on my shoulder during the drive and whispered, "Thank you for not leaving." I didn't say anything. I just kissed her forehead and kept driving, like it was the most natural thing in the world. We reached a small place by the lake, nothing fancy, just quiet and full of sky. She ran to the water barefoot, twirling, laughing, alive. I watched her with the same heart that once broke, watching her sleep in silence. That night, we sat by a fire, wrapped in one blanket, and she said, "This feels like falling in love again." And maybe it was. Not the kind of love that starts with butterflies, but the kind that's built in the dark, stitched with worry, sealed with loyalty. In her eyes, I saw both the girl who danced in the streets and the fighter who faced the silence. And I knew I'd fallen in love with both. The journey didn't end at the lake. It just reminded us that love isn't about avoiding the hard parts. Weeks passed, and the memories of pain slowly turned into gentle reminders of how far we'd come. She smiled more now, not because everything was perfect, but because she'd earned her smile back. We started doing the little things again: late-night snacks, surprise notes on the mirror, long walks where we didn't need to talk at all. And one rainy afternoon, we sat on the porch, wrapped in a blanket, listening to the drops hit the roof like a slow song. She looked at me, no makeup, messy hair, tired eyes, and I swear I'd never seen anything more beautiful. I told her I never needed the trip, the photos, or the music. Just you. She laughed, that laugh that always made the world feel smaller and safer, and said, "But the music helps." We both smiled, and I realized that maybe love isn't just about the big moments. It's also built in the stillness, in the quiet afternoons when nothing much happens but everything feels right. Later that night, while she was brushing her hair, I reached into my bag and pulled out a small box. Not a flashy one. No crowd, no fireworks. Just us. I walked over, sat beside her, and said, "I don't have a perfect speech. I just know I want to wake up next to you in every version of life, sick or healthy, laughing or crying, dancing or sleeping. She froze for a second, tears welling up, then whispered, "Even on my worst days?" And I smiled and said, "Especially on those." She didn't scream. She didn't jump. She just held my face and kissed me, and in that kiss was every answer I needed. We didn't call anyone. We didn't post anything. We just stayed there, quiet, holding each other, like we were protecting a secret the universe had written just for us. And maybe we were. Because sometimes, the loudest love is the one that doesn't need an audience. Life after that moment wasn't perfect, but it was ours. We moved in together in a small apartment filled with plants she loved and photos from all our trips, the good and the hard. We learned the art of patience, knowing when to give space and when to hold tighter. Some days she'd wake up feeling strong, other days tired and fragile, but we faced each one together, hand in hand. We dreamed of traveling again, exploring places we'd only seen in books and pictures. And when the world got too noisy or the days too long, we found comfort in quiet nights, cooking dinner side by side, talking about everything and nothing. There were fights, of course, moments when frustration crept in, but every argument ended with an apology and a reminder of why we chose this path. One evening, under soft candlelight, she said, "Thank you for never giving up on me." And I realized that love isn't just about big gestures, it's in the everyday choices, the little acts of care, the quiet promises kept without words. We knew the road ahead wouldn't always be easy, but with her, every step felt worth it. Because no matter where life takes us through sickness or health, laughter or tears. And so, our story is not about perfect moments or flawless days. It's about choosing each other every single time when the world is bright and when it feels dark, when laughter fills the air and when silence is all we have. It's about growing together through every challenge, learning that love is less about grand gestures and more about the quiet, steady presence beside you. In sickness and in health, through every journey and every still moment, we have built something real, something lasting. Our love is a journey without end, a promise whispered in the softest of moments, and a light that will never fade. No matter where life takes us next, I know one thing for sure: with her by my side, I am home.